If you're looking to experience some genuine coin flip chaos on Pokemon TCGL, then Kangaskhan EX might just be the deck for you. This card is pretty solid. It's not going to be beating the big decks consistently, but if you've got a little bit of luck on your side, then Kangaskhan can hit all 400 damage, almost 400 damage. It's ever so slightly less. Realistically, it's going to be 380, but that's okay. We can talk about it. We have two very good attacks on this card. The first one for 1 energy, triple draw, draws 3 cards. In lots of games, that might be all you need to do. Just keep drawing, give yourself more consistency. It's better than nothing. The second attack, though, is where this deck really starts to shine. 3 energy, incessant punching, does 100 damage times the amount of coin flips that you flip. Heads on, we flip 4 coins. For every heads, we deal 100 damage. That means Kangaskhan can realistically do 400 damage and knock out anything in the game, although I will say 380 is normally your cap, just because you're going to be using double turbo on this guy. But this is not the only way that we're going to be flipping coins with this deck. In fact, I've put together a list that plays a ton of different coin flip cards. Most of them are up here. I'm going to look specifically at Radiant Jirachi first. It has 2 good pieces of text for a basic Radiant Pokemon. The attack, Astral Misfortune for 2 colorless energy, flips 2 coins, and if both of them are heads, then we take a KO. It doesn't matter what the Pokemon is, as long as we flip double heads, we can knock it out. Anything from a Charmander to a Charizard EX with 330 HP, it will be knocked out. And if our opponent knocks out our Jirachi, then we'll activate the ability Entrusted Wishes and search for any 3 cards from our deck that we want. That's a very, very strong, consistent setup ability that we can use to really take advantage of those coin flips. The one card that I think is the most exciting for this deck, though, is Chansey. It has the ability Lucky Bonus, which is a little bit convoluted, but it essentially means that when you take this Pokemon as a prize and put it down onto an empty space on your bench, you can flip a coin, and if heads, you can take another prize card. That's super, super good because you can uptrade on single prize Pokemon taking 2 prizes, or uptrade on 2 prize Pokemon taking 3. The best part is, if you can somehow find a way to guarantee that you draw into Chansey off of your prize cards, and then you flip heads, you actually get to use Chansey's ability again if you unprize another one. So for example, I take a knockout, I unprize Chansey, I flip a coin, I get a heads, I find another Chansey in the prizes, I get to use Lucky Bonus again for that new Chansey, as long as I have space on the bench. And we're going to guarantee that we can put those Chanseys into our prize cards by playing 3 copies of Peonia. Peonia will let us look at 3 of our prize cards, put them into our hand, and then replace those prizes with any 3 cards that we like. So if we have 3 Chansey in our hand, we can replace 3 prize cards with those 3 Chansey and guarantee that every time we take a prize, we can flip a coin to see if we get another one. To be brutally honest, this deck is a lot of fun. I think that it's actually one of the most fun decks to play on Standard at the moment. It's not super good. You're probably going to lose lots of games, but with so many coin flips, thanks to Kangaskhan EX and our Chansey, how could you possibly go wrong? It's game time. Let's see if we can get Kangaskhan EX to work. We have a start here with 2 Nest Balls. We can grab a couple of Kangaskhan here, which is great, and that means that we can start attacking relatively soon. But to be brutally honest, as long as we get a couple of Kangas in play, we should be fine. I'm going to attach to the Kangaskhan with that Grass Energy and then pass across to my opponent. My opponent has started with a Radiant Venusaur, which is not a card that you see all the time, so it could be that we're going up against something quite interesting here. Now, I'm saying this, I actually know what we are playing against. I'm testing against a good friend of mine, Jordan, who is playing a Beedrill deck, or the Beedrill from Pokemon 151. So definitely a really, really cool concept. If you'd like to see a video on that deck from this perspective, then leave a like on the video. If we hit 250 likes, I'll try and put out a Beedrill video for you ASAP. So we'll see how we go with that, but right now we're focused in on Kangaskhan, and whether or not we can get a win with that. Our opponent now just setting their board up a bit. They've got a Pidgeot V and the Stone, which means they can search out whatever they like. And when we look at our hand here, we're actually in a really interesting position here. We've got a double Turbo Energy, which we can attach to our Radiant Jirachi. We have a Research which we'll play, but we can also use Peonia and potentially put a Chansey into our prize cards, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but if there are other Chanseys in our prizes, we'll have a 50-50 shot to try and pull them out with the Peonia. We can then put them back with the Peonia and remove the cards that are in our prizes, which would be preferable. If we don't, that's fine, but every Chansey that we put into those prize cards means that we need to take one less prize if we get a little bit lucky. As I mentioned, it's a bit of a coin flip fiasco here, so we'll see if we can get it to work. Our opponent has an Arven that they're going to be using to grab a Battle VIP pass, which I really, really like. This will probably grab a couple of Weedle. Looks like we're actually going for a Pidgey here, as well as a Weedle, so playing that Pidgeot EX could be a potential way we're seeing that this deck operate. It looks like they're only getting one Weedle, and then they'll just pass using that Radiant Venusaur's Sunny Bloom ability to draw up to 4 cards, which I really, really like. Okay, let's go for the Peonia play here, I think, because we've got the Chansey in the hand. What we're going to do is we're going to look at 3 prize cards, or put 3 prize cards in our hand, so we'll go with 1, 2, and 3. See what those cards are. We've got a Giovanni's Charisma, we've got a Boss, and we've got a Brave Charm. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Boss, the Pokégear, and the Chansey into the prizes. Put the Chansey in on that important first slot, so now we know if we take a prize, we can get that Chansey, and we might just get a prize right now with an Astral Misfortune. If we flip double heads, we get the knockout. If we flip double tails, we are sad, and nothing happens. But that's okay, because ultimately our position is, as long as we can get a solid turn 3 or 4 attack off and unprize one of those Chanseys, that would be fantastic. And to be brutally honest, if we get knocked out and our Entrusted Wishes procs, we get our Entrusted Wishes to search for any 3 cards we like, we can actually put another couple of those Chanseys into the deck, into the prizes, my apologies. We'll see how we go there. I'm not sure whether or not we're going to be able to get this attack to flip double heads with the Astral Misfortune. I feel like I'm all over the place here as well. I think that our opponent is going to struggle to attack this turn. Let's say that much. Their Radiant Venusaur has 3 retreat. They also don't have a Beedrill set up yet, so we might be able to steal a turn and potentially give ourselves a chance to set up our Kangaskhan a little bit more. Now, looks like they're going for a switch and a rare candy here, so maybe looking for a potential setup of that Pidgeot EX could potentially be it. Looks like we're going to see a Mysterious Tail here, maybe grabbing a card, maybe not, and then drawing 3 cards. So it's just going to be a pass, but the rare candy we know is in hand. I'm going to grab a Level Ball off of that Mysterious Tail, which will search out another basic, probably the Weedle, so that there's 2 Weedles in play for our opponent. Or the Kakuna, actually. There you go. Kakuna means that they definitely don't need to worry about that rare candy that's in hand for the Beedrill. Maybe they can use that to evolve into Pidgeot EX and potentially get moving from there. We'll wait and see. We have ourselves a Research. There's Boss's Orders as well. It's very frustrating. We could use Boss here and try and take 2 prize cards. It's actually not a terrible idea, but we need to double flip heads again, which I'm not 100% certain on. I think we just play Professor's Research, thin out our hand a little bit, and give us a little bit more of a chance to attack next turn. We can guarantee get the attack here with our Kangaskhan, maybe take a prize, but I'm actually just going to go for the Astral Misfortune again. I don't think it matters too much if we don't flip double heads. If we do, that's a bonus. We get 1, we don't get 2. It's fine. Really, we just want to leave the Jirachi in the active so that eventually our opponent knocks it out and we get to search any 3 cards. And with our current hand, if we search any 3 cards, we can actually search for triple Chansey if they're all in deck, and then Peonia them all into the prizes, which would be incredible. It would mean that every time we take a prize, we would be flipping a coin to see if we take an extra one. And that is super, super nice. Our opponent finally gets down another Weedle. They rare candy into the Pidgeot as well, so they had everything that they needed. And now we can see a Mysterious Tail and a Quick Search here. So only a Switch and a Beedrill required. The Level Ball not necessarily going to do the job for them. But maybe they can find something. I'm not sure whether they'll be able to. Quick Search going to find a card out of their deck. And to be brutally honest, this Beedrill deck does not look like it's working at 100% efficiency. It looks like maybe we're having a bit of a struggle in setting up. Maybe if we hit that 250 like target, we could potentially see us try and improve on it. Or even at the very least, just play through it a little bit more and see if we can get it to work. That Vanishing Wings ability there happening for our opponent. Pidgeot and the Stone going into the deck. And another Weedle coming into play. So it looks like we're just going to see another benched Weedle and then drawing a bunch of cards. There is the Beedrill. They've searched that one out off of the Pidgeot EX, but unfortunately no Switch. Again, giving us a chance to draw and attack. We've got Ultra Ball, we've got Mesagoza, we've got a Kangaskhan in hand. This hand's actually really awkward. If we had a better situation, I think we might play some of these cards. I'm just going to use Astral Misfortune. Maybe we can flip our heads here. We flip one out of our two. We are yet to flip double heads, but that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. We just want to leave the Jirachi in the active and hope that our opponent knocks it out so that we can get those triple Chanseys into play. And surely this turn, our opponent will have to take a knockout with their Beedrill. If they don't take a knockout this turn, you would be very, very disappointed. Now, what Beedrill's attack does, for those of you who are curious, Beedrill will attack for double colorless energy. It does 30 damage plus 120 more if you have 0 cards in hand, and then your opponent's active Pokemon is poisoned and confused, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I'm fairly certain it's both, but the key is you need to have 0 cards in hand. So we'll need to wait and see here whether or not our opponent is able to thin out the cards in their hand. You'd think that with Pidgeot EX in play, they'd be able to do that. Oh, look at that. This random update to Freemake has just popped up in the corner of my screen. We'll just wait for that to disappear. It'll disappear, right? Surely it will disappear for us, and we'll get rid of that. Is there a little X on it? I could click the X, but I'll just give them some advertising. Freemake, thank you very much, whoever you are. Your little update button appears on my screen, even though nothing from you is installed on my computer, as far as I can tell. But that's okay. It's fine. We're just gonna leave it there. It's gone now. It's fine. I have no idea what that was. That was very, very odd. Our opponent has 7 cards in hand, which is not the 0 that they need. They're actually going to attach a Reversal Energy to the Mew. And here we go. Now we're going to see some card thinning. We've got an Ultra Ball discarding 2 cards from hand. It's going to grab 2 stones, discarding 2 stones, and probably grabbing a Beedrill if one of those Kakoonas can evolve. It doesn't look like it can. And then a Lost Vacuum, removing a Battle VIP Pass. There's 1 card left. Perhaps they will be able to play down 1 more card. I don't know. I presume that they can. You're going to retreat into the Beedrill. They are, and then they're going to play whatever this last card is, a Super Rod. Fair enough. Shuffle a couple of Pokemon cards into their deck. Pokemon or Basic Energy, but I don't think this Beedrill deck plays them. And then we're going to see the Nadia Needle attack for 150, minus 20 because of the DTE, then minus 30 because of resistance, and now we finally get to use our Entrusted Wishes. So let's grab triple Chansey and chuck them into the prize cards with Peonia this turn. If we can flip some heads on these Chanseys, we may just be able to win this game in a couple of turns. We'll see whether or not it's possible here. We will need to flip a bunch of heads, because we need to Incessant Punching here as well, and flip at least 2 to be able to get that attack off. Let's start off with Peonia. We're going to choose, we chose 1, 2, and 3 before, we'll choose 4, 5, and 6 now. We'll grab those 3 prize cards. We've got triple Chanseys, so we can chuck those into the prizes. And then with our Treasure Energy that we just managed to unprize, we can put that onto the Kangaskhan in the bench. We can even play down a Kangaskhan if we want to, but to be brutally honest, we might just go for the Incessant Punching attack. Nah, we may as well. Do we? I don't think we need to. Incessant Punching. Now, we need to flip 2 heads here, at the very least, to be able to attack with Kangaskhan this turn. So let's get this attack off. We're going to flip 4 coins, and if any 2 of them are heads, we'll take the knockout. 1, 2, beautiful, excellent. So that's going to be a solid 280 damage. And now we know that our Chanseys are in the prizes. We know exactly where they are. We can take them in the right order. And then every time we unprize a Chansey, we get a chance at lucky bonus. So would we like to use it? Yes, we would. We will place it down onto the bench and then flip a coin. If heads, we get to take another prize. And it's just as simple as that. So we get to take another prize, right? Because we flipped heads. So we'll go for another Chansey. Right, we know that it's there. We took Chansey as a prize, so we can put it onto the bench with lucky bonus, and then we'll flip a coin. And if we get heads, then we've taken 3 prizes on this beach. What is going on? Okay, everyone settle down. We're going to take another Chansey here. We're going to take another Chansey. We're going to use the lucky bonus, and we're going to flip again. If we get another heads, we'll have taken 4 prizes on this Beedrill. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. What is going on? We go to prize 1 because that's our other Chansey. We can pull that out. If we get heads, we've taken 5 prizes on this Beedrill. That would be ridiculous. Flip heads for content? Oh no way. We have 4 Chanseys on our bench. Oh, so for reference, we just knocked out a Beedrill, a 1-prize Pokemon, and took 4 prizes on it because of that lucky bonus ability. And that, frankly, is ridiculous. That is just silly. Well, I never. Okay, well, at least now our opponent's going to be able to utilize their Beedrill's special energy. The reversal energy will stop Beedrill, will allow Beedrill to attack. And it's going to allow them to attack for the entire game. They're going to be able to do a bunch of different things here. I'm sorry, I can't get over that. I cannot get over the fact that I just flipped triple heads on Chansey. That's ridiculous. If we'd flipped 4, we'd need 1 more knockout to win the game. Like, that's how close we are to winning that turn. Oh, man. Okay. Alright. I mean, so from here we should win, right? From here we should be able to win. The Kangaskhan EX should be able to get the knockouts. But just as simply as we flipped heads 3 times on those Chanseys, we could just as easily flip tails on our incessant punching and miss knockouts. So it is possible that we still lose this game just because we can't draw cards properly. So definitely a concern. Our opponent playing the carry here to grab another Weedle, which is fair enough. Then they can retreat from the Pidgeot into the Beedrill. They'll hit us for 160, thanks to the Vitality Band. And then the Poison and Paralysis, I think it is. I can't remember exactly what. I think it's Paralyzed and Poisoned, so that's frustrating. That will slow us down, and then they'll be able to Sunny Bloom, draw 4 cards from their deck. So, almost knocked out with that Beedrill. Very, very close, but we have Penny in our hands. We're going to play that straight away, bring the Kangaskhan out of harm's way. We'll put the second Kangaskhan on the active, and now we can go again with our incessant punching. Flipping heads 2 times would give us a knockout and get us that much closer. Heads, triple heads. We're flipping only heads today. That is ridiculous. Okay, so dealing more than enough damage on that Beedrill, we take another prize. Now this time we can't use our Chansey, unfortunately. We know that we've run out of them. They're all on the bench. But the question becomes, can we get another knockout this turn? Hopefully we can, but our opponent is going to be able to paralyze us, which is not great. We'll need to use Switch to attack. We don't have enough energy on our Pokemon to be able to attack with another Kangaskhan this turn. We won't be able to Raihan, we won't be knocked out, we won't be able to Energy Sticker. I don't think there's any energy in the discard pile. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but on our opponent's side of the field, they've just used Peony. They're running out of resources here. They've only got 6 cards left in their deck. One of them needs to be a Beedrill to attack with right now. So they'll grab that out, and then Natty and Needle will be able to hit into this Kangaskhan. And to be brutally honest, I don't think that there's that much that our opponent is going to be able to do more than attacking with this one Beedrill for the entire game. So we'll see. They probably won't use the Sunny Bloom ability here because it won't get them all the cards they need. And now it's just a matter of how we go about winning this game, if we can. going to grab a Raihan from that Pokégear. I don't think it's too required, really. I'm going to throw the Kangaskhan into the active, attach a Grass Energy, and then I might just triple draw. I mean, I could research, but I think triple draw is perfectly fine. Look at all those energy. Okay, that's pretty good. We'll triple draw here, and this means that even if our opponent does paralyze us again with Nadia Needle, which they absolutely can, we've at least got 2 attackers set up, so we'll have at least one chance to flip the coins for the game. We'll see how we go. Our opponent Nadia Needles us for 150, poisoned, paralyzed, poisoned and paralyzed. We wait, we sit back, we relax. It's going to be fine. We have a Pal Pad if we want to play it. I don't think we need to. I think it's just going to be as simple here. Maybe we do play some of these cards down. I don't think we attach the double turbo. We're going to just attach to the active and research and see if we just hit a switch, right? Hit a switch, win the game. We didn't hit the switch to win the game. Flip the heads on the energy sticker to win the game. I mean, not to win the game, but to attack with something else. No, we can't attack with something else because we're not able to. We're paralyzed. That's a concern. Okay, cool. So our opponent, 170. They're going to take a knockout on the Kangaskhan this turn, provided, of course, that they do remove the card from their hand. In saying that, they don't actually need to. They could Nadia Needle us or pierce us even for 110, which is what they choose to do. And now we have our chance to win, right? It is a super simple equation. All that we need to do is flip at least 2 heads to get the knockout on this Beedrill. If we flip 2 heads, we win the game. If we don't flip 2 heads, we're very sad. But that's okay. It's going to be fine. We're going to get the double heads. We will play intelligently, though. Let's grab the Roxanne, I think. That seems perfectly fine. Our opponent only has 6 cards, so we can probably afford to be a little bit greedy here. We don't have another Kangaskhan, though, which is a bit of a concern. So we might need to do some creative accounting here. Looks like we can attach a couple of Grass Energy, though, with Gardenia, which I do like. And then I think we're just going to play Path to stop that Pidgeot from doing anything, and then we will Incessant Punching, and we'll flip double heads, and we'll win the game, right? It's going to be as simple as that. We're going to flip double heads and win the game. Incessant Punching, flipping 4 coins, 0, 0. Oh my god, we've not killed it. Oh no. Alright, we've dealt 80 damage to the Beedrill. 80 damage. We flipped 1, which means that we can knock out with Chansey because it's got 50 left. Okay, alright. So, we flipped triple heads with Chansey. We took 4 prizes on a Beedrill, and since then, we have been unable to do anything of value, anything of meaning. And depending on what our opponent does here, we may be able to win with a knockout from Chansey with Gentle Slap for 50 damage. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was not expecting this to happen. I was not expecting either of these decks to be anywhere close to good against each other, but here we go. We've got ourselves an even game. They've taken the knockout though, which means now we can promote our Chansey, and we will be able to attach the double turbo and Gentle Slap for 50 damage. Whoa, let's just get rid of that Wasp. Get that Beedrill out of here. We'll just swat it away, take our prizes, and win the game, which was way closer than I was expecting, frankly. Hey, listen, this deck is a lot of fun. Not super competitive by any stretch, but if you want to play against some friends, definitely check it out. The list's in the description. Like 250 will play Beedrill. Otherwise, thanks everyone, and I'll catch you all next time for more from the Sableyes. Bye.